This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of #NoFilterFriday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome to the C. Jane Sell podcast,
a relatable sales podcast for your weekly dose of sanity. I'm your host, Chelsea Dupre.
and I'm your host, Leigh Nevis. Hi.
What's up? Welcome back, everybody.
Yay! It is another week here.
Another day, another dollar.
Another day, another dollar.
And another episode with your girls.
Yeah, this is Leigh.
And this is Chelsea, and we are here to guide, promote, befriend, all of the things.
Yeah.
Teach, tip, whatever.
Absolutely. To just be on your side.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Absolutely. Make a little sunshine in your day. You know, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Positive vibes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How's your week been?
My week has been great.
Good.
It's actually been really good. Been busy but organized, but taking time for myself. I'm getting a body fat test done on Thursday.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So that's exciting.
So what does that...
Dialing it in.
What does that entail? Are you just like...
So they tell you like your body, like what your body's composed of, like percentage of water, bone density, the fat that you're carrying and where you're carrying it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is going to be really helpful because I have a coach named Shannon who is awesome. Mm-hmm. And she is going to start changing and manipulating my diet and my workouts so that way we can start targeting all the places to get me out of somewhat of a plateau that I've been in for the past 2 weeks. So
yeah,
it'll be really good.
Cool. Well, that's good because you've been working hard.
I have.
And you're looking good. Like, you're looking svelte.
Felt.
And, like, very fit. So.
Yeah. Oh, Sales Tip Tuesday. Are you ready? Can I do a Sales Tip Tuesday?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Even though it's Thursday when this comes out, it's Tuesday today when we record this. So
That is true. Maybe
Yeah,
I'll put it on the Insta.
Yeah.
But my sales tip for the day is feel, felt, found. The feel, felt, found tip.
Mm-hmm.
And how you can apply this is, Leigh, I completely understand how you feel. Chelsea felt the exact same way. And she found that through working with me and doing X, Y, and Z, she was able to get blah, blah, blah savings or blah, blah, blah success. So feel, felt, found it.
I love that.
There's your sales tip.
Sales Tip Tuesday. Well, I love that one, though, because it actually, if you actually have a client or someone that you've worked with, it's essentially like giving your own kind of recommendation, even though you are recommending yourself. But it's like, you're being honest. You're saying, like, this is literally what happened with someone just like you in your situation, and here's how I helped them.
Yep.
And they freaking were, like, stoked about it.
Feel, felt, found.
Good.
How's your week?
My week has been really good, but it's kind of been all over the place.
Yeah.
As some of you know, maybe just my Facebook friends, because Facebook tells freaking everyone everything.
Well, I did make a post. Well,
did you?
Yeah.
I haven't been on Facebook, like, purposefully. Did
if
I like
it's
it?
what I think it's about.
I turned 30
Yep.
on Friday.
I did it on Instagram.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's fine. I saw it on Instagram. I turned 30 this week, and so I am 30 now. I am 30, flirty, and thriving.
Yes.
And it's kind of been emotional. I really have tried not to think about it that much. But, yeah, and I'm just kind of, like, going through this, like, transition of, like, looking back, reflecting on my 20s, like, reflecting on, like, everything that I did, everything I accomplished, and, like, trying not to be really hard on myself, because I feel like if I look back from the time I turned 20 to, you know, the last day of when I was 29, like, gosh, like I just did a lot. I did a lot of things in my 20s.
Lot.
I tried a lot of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I really like put myself out there, and I attempted to succeed in a plethora of different areas, and some of them worked out great, some of them did not, but I learned a crap ton. And so I'm just trying to like reflect and like trying to be grateful, even though in the back of my mind I'm like, oh my god, I'm 30.
Why is turning 30 so scary? Because it is extremely terrifying.
I think it's because when you turn 30, people are like, oh, you can't get away with what you used to get away with. Like,
You gotta be like mature and shit.
Yeah, like you have to be like this professional person who has their life together. Because they say, oh, your 20s are all about figuring stuff out. Well, what if you get to 30 and you still don't have your stuff figured out? It's a really scary thing to think about.
I just think like every time I still feel like I'm like in my teens or really early 20s.
I literally feel like I'm 21 all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And I think like I have 2.5 more years till I'm 30, and I wish I could stay 27 forever. But I think back, and to me 30 seems so far away, and I think that's when all my mom is forever like 35.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
like
definitely.
that's like have the family, be the mom, be like settled, know your neck, like like you just know everything, and I'm like, oh, I know nothing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, pray for me.
Oh, I literally feel like I know nothing.
No.
But honestly, like one of the things that I've really realized is that I think we as a society, we put way too much pressure on ourselves to like get it together, and like we know like who we are and what we are and what we're doing. Like no one really knows. Like that was one of my favorite things about Michelle Obama's book Becoming, because the whole point of it is that you never become who you're supposed to be. You're always becoming a new person. You're always discovering new things about yourself.
Oh my gosh. No, that's so perfect, because this leads into like some of the things we were talking about, the Enneagrams.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have taken the Enneagram test a couple of times, and every time I'm like, that's not quite right. That's not quite right. But as I've taken these and was able to like accept maybe answers to these questions I did not want to accept that are real for me, I finally took my Enneagram test, and it is totally me. The good, the bad, the ugly. And I think we're always evolving. And I found in my Enneagram test, there's a lot of me. There's a lot of different Chelseas. I know that sounds like I'm saying I have a multiple personality disorder, and maybe I do. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there, I think with my head, my heart, and my gut. And more so my heart than any of that. But just like learning all of those, I'm always becoming. Like, I'm not ever going to be that same thing. And you think back to the time when I was going through maybe what I would consider a challenging time in my life, where it was challenging because I was changing.
Yes.
And then I'd be like, but what about that girl? Like, that poor girl that I loved with all my heart, that I neglected and didn't accept her for who she was because I was harsh on her. Like, what about her? She was so great. She was so good. She didn't mess up. She was so whatever.
Yeah.
So pure and small and clean and innocent and perfect and all of the things.
Yeah.
Like, not heartbroken, hadn't been heartbroken yet, hadn't had to make a big decision.
Oh my gosh.
Like, her. Hey, you.
Hey, girl.
Little cutie.
I know. What would you go back? This is kind of what we wanted today's pod to be really about, is just a reflection on, like, who we want to be, who we are becoming, and what we would go back and tell, like, a younger version of ourselves. Like, I guess, what would you tell your young, sweet, innocent version of yourself if you could go back?
If I could go back, I think because I do use the head, the heart, and the gut to make a lot of decisions, I never made a lot of very risky decisions. So part of me would be like, go back, make the risky decisions, you know? Don't worry about everything being so perfect all the time.
Yep.
Be yourself. Don't worry about, who cares what anybody thinks? Who cares? Don't make up an excuse why you don't drink alcohol. Don't make up an excuse. Like, don't be ashamed of that. Don't be like, oh, they're never going to want to hang out with me because I don't do that. Doesn't matter. You know, I have met a lot of people that really respect me for I don't do what a lot of people do. And just to know that that's okay.
Absolutely.
You know, don't feel bad about it. Don't, whatever. You don't have to have a reason to why. Just, I don't do it because I don't do it. Just accept what you are and how you feel.
Oh my gosh, I totally feel that. I think that is so important, and I would probably tell myself the exact same thing. Is like, I feel like a lot of times when I was growing up, like, I had to have a reason for everything, and like, I had to explain myself. I felt the need to explain myself of like why I did the things that I did.
It's exhausting.
It's so exhausting, and honestly, sometimes you just don't need to. Like, you just...
So there doesn't always have to be a reason?
Absolutely not. And a lot of times, people don't care as much as we think they could care.
No.
You know, like, people just don't really give a crap. Even
And if they care that much,
like,
and they're like, you don't need to explain yourself. Or if they do care that much, and they have too many things to say about it, you don't want to hang out with them.
Exactly. They're not your people
They're
anyways.
not your friends.
They're not your friends.
Bye.
And they have their own personal problems they need to deal with. Yeah. Yeah, I would totally tell myself not to care as much. And not to focus on trying to impress other people so much. Because I think that I did a lot of that, especially in high school, getting into college. Like, I felt like I just wanted to be liked by people. Like, I just wanted to, like, be popular, but, like, I wanted to be different, but I still wanted everyone to like me. You know, like, I think that I explained to myself, like, oh, well, Leigh, you're not, like, this, like, mean, bitchy, mean girl who's, like, super popular. Like, you're, like, a cool, like, weird, quirky theater girl. Like, that's your thing. But I still, in the back of my mind, I was explaining it to myself like that, even though I still had, like, this crazy, crazy innate need for someone to, like me and to accept me for who I was, or to just, like, think I was really cool.
Yeah.
And I would go back and be like, don't care about either of those things. Like, please just don't give a crap.
Just don't.
It's so hard to tell a teenager that, but I would tell myself that.
Or when you see your friends moving in different directions. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
It's heart-wrenching, really.
It is.
Because I don't know if she listens. I don't know. She's always been, like, someone I've loved and adored my entire life, and we were best friends all growing up.
Yeah.
And I went one direction and she went the other. Not like in, like, a moral sense. I went cheerleading, she went sports, okay? I mean,
Right. Yeah.
It's not like she chose some path.
Right.
No, we just... so I was with other people and she was with other people, and I saw her make new best friends, and it broke my heart. And so then I think back and, like, all of, like, the negative feelings I had, or the sadness I was of being replaced, which isn't a fun feeling in general, I think she would have stayed wanting to hang my friend if I wasn't so desperate to be her friend.
Yeah.
Does that sound so bad? But I just wanted to
No.
be her friend. I just never wanted to be replaced because we were always just us two.
Yeah.
It was always us two. We were always the best, most tight. Like, I have a tendency to speak really fast, and all the teachers would be like, what did she just say? And she'd be like, this is what she said.
I am her translator.
I'm her translator. I mean,
Yeah.
we walked to school every day. So the fact that that was happening was, I felt like part of me wasn't leaving, but I wish I could just go back and be like, people like people who are genuine and confident in themselves. So
Completely.
be happy with who you are, and be
Completely.
happy with the choices that you've made. And
be happy for other people, too.
Yes,
I think that's
that is
another
so
thing
hard.
is, like, I think that it's really hard to, when you do have a group of friends, or maybe you are all, like, into the same kind of stuff, and then one person kind of backs out, and maybe they're not so much into that anymore. It's really hard to not be like, ugh, like, why don't they, like, why don't you like the thing that I like?
Yeah.
Or why are you not into the same things I'm into? But just, I don't know, just, like, embracing those differences. It's like, she freaking likes sports, and she wanted to play sports. I personally hated contact sports because every time someone would touch me, I would want to punch them. Like, you know what I mean? Sports were not for me. I was much more a spectator. Like, loved watching sports, did not like playing them. But, like, for people who did, like, you know, I think that we just need to celebrate each other's differences rather than feel bad and feel like there's something wrong with us for liking the things that we like.
absolutely. But that's hard.
It is hard. Oh, what?
But
Easier
I'm
said
telling
than done.
you,
I still do it today.
I
You
know.
like
I feel like we have gotten better at it because we're more aware of it, though.
yes.
At least I can speak from like what our conversations, and then for myself personally.
Yeah.
Because I can notice now that when I'm being maybe jealous or not celebrating that person for whatever reason, I'm gonna be like, what is your deal? If you were in that person's situation, how would you feel? Mm-hmm. And of course she's not going to want to be your friend because you're being rude.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to be your friend.
Yeah.
So be the friend that you would want to have.
Oh my gosh, that is exactly, I think, what I would go back and tell myself. Is be the friend that you would want to have.
And when you celebrate people and are genuinely happy for them, it's crazy all the good that comes to you.
Completely.
Because positivity attracts positivity. I'm telling you, this secret has changed my life.
Yeah. Yo, it does. And I think, too, is a lot of times it's really hard when we feel extremely jealous. Maybe we're jealous of someone else or we're jealous of something that they have that we don't. It's really hard for me personally to turn that into a super positive.
It is.
Because it's one strong feeling trying to morph into another strong feeling. So what I've realized is, like, if I just kind of make myself, like, neutral about it and just I'm like, okay, no, I'm happy for them. Like, that's tight. And you don't need to give it more thought. You don't need to go out of your way and, like, buy them a dozen roses and, like, be, like, over the top about it. I think that kind of taking the situation and neutralizing it is powerful in itself.
I'd agree with that.
Like, I don't know. Because, I mean, you've seen, like, have you ever had that, like, if you've had something really good happen to you and you've had that person who is, like, overly happy and you're like, oh my god, I know that you would actually kill me right now if you could. Like, who's, like, overly happy for you and you're like, all right, I get it, you're happy for me. Like, I know you're not actually happy for me. Like, I feel like that also can be very unhealthy if you try to go too extreme with your happiness.
Yeah.
When you actually aren't actually happy.
Yeah. I have done that. Because I was trying to be, like, aware of that, like, I'm like, okay, man, I wish that was me, but I'm going to be happy for you. So then I just try to fake it and make it happen, and then it's just too much.
Oh, we've all done it.
You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Yes, we've all done that, for sure.
I'm like, oh, that was embarrassing. I could go back and not do that. That'd be great.
Is there a part in Mean Girls where that happens?
Probably. Mean Girls is my favorite.
Mine too. Dang it. I think I'm maybe thinking about the musical.
You could.
Or no, it's when Caddy gets the candy cane graham from Regina and Gretchen's like,
Wiener's
cute!
That's awesome!
Yeah, and so don't do that.
Don't do that.
Because it'll lead you to a large breakdown.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's something that just, if you talk back to the Enneagrams, that's the other thing is just like, if I had somebody that could have told me this so I better understood what these feelings were and not to like suppress them, but to acknowledge them and learn how to better myself from them.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be great?
Mm-hmm. Completely. Because we're all like built by nature to have a certain personality type. Now that can be like changed and morphed with some, the way you're raised, what environment you're in, like, the people that you hang out with. Like, I really do believe that you can change. But a lot of times some things are like ingrained in us and like how we react and how our brains literally like the reactions in our brains, like the way we react to certain things. I just said the word react like 7 times in a row, but
fine.
Anyways,
not even
my
upset.
point is is that a lot of times we can't really change who we are, but we can change how we react to things. And again, I just said react. Everyone take a shot if you're playing a game. But I love the Enneagram. And for people who don't know what the Enneagram is and what we're talking about, the Enneagram is a personality test. There's 9 different Enneagram types. And each type all interconnects with one another. And the purpose of the Enneagram test, a lot of people, like a lot of like workplaces use it because it's not just like, oh, like, you are like this and this is stuff that you do. It's like, hey, like, you're like this. This is your number one fear. This is, when you're really stressed out, a lot of times you tend to get really angry, or you tend to get really jealous, or you tend to get really paranoid. And, like, it essentially helps you recognize your bad tendencies and how to fix them, kind of. Not fix them, but just, like, be aware of them, acknowledge them, and know how to grow from them.
Yeah. Just better yourself. So you can maybe neutralize the situation.
Neutralize it, yes.
So if you know that that's something that's going to put you in an unhealthy area, then figure out how to neutralize that and get yourself out of that, because it doesn't make you feel good to be in those situations or have those feelings, nor does it if you have a desire to have friends and people like you. People don't like that.
Yeah. Definitely.
So it's really how you want, or what you want.
Yeah.
Think that way. I mean, I would think back and I think, okay, the 20s, what all did I accomplish? Like, what makes us successful in your 20s? So I'm thinking, like, okay, graduated college in 4 years. Check. Got married. Check. I mean, this is me personally. I know a lot of people are like, I don't freaking need to get married to be successful. Whatever. I get that. Like, preach, sister. I hear it.
Right. We're here for it.
But, got married. Check. I, got a job. A good job. Check. I'm extremely successful in my job. Check. Bought a house on my own. Check. Got a car on my own. Check. I mean, like, I'm marking off all of these things, and I'm like, I'm almost 30, but what do I have? But, like, what?
I feel like that's huge.
It is, but
I feel like...
But you see all these things, like, I want to travel, I want to do all these things, so, okay, what really matters to me? Does the house matter? No. Does the marriage matter? Yeah, I love my spouse.
Right.
Does the car matter? No. Do all these things that seem like to check the, like, the social status? Yeah, but I want to see things. I want to experience things. I want to... Okay, so if I spend all my money on travel and time with my loved ones and friends, and I have no money at the end of the day, but I have all these amazing memories, that's what I want. That's what I want my 30s to be.
Yes.
That's what I want my 30s to be.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
My goal is to work my butt off in my 20s so I can pay for all the cool things in my 30s.
I love that. Yes. I think that's incredible. That's a huge goal. And I think that I'm all for experience over stuff. Like, all for it. I think that you always, like, I will always, always, always look back and remember, like, stuff that I did. Like, you know, going to Europe, going to Iceland, going to, like, different, like, cool countries, and, like, traveling. And, yeah, I had to save up, and, yeah, it sucked, because maybe, like, for a couple months I was a little poor, but, like, I survived. Here I am, living and breathing. Yeah. Like, I was okay. And I think that a lot of people just prioritize, like, just taking their money and just, like, stuffing it away and, like, just keeping it. And I'm like, that's great. I'm really happy that you're going to feel secure, but, like, you could get hit by a bus tomorrow and you'll never see a dime of that.
See, and that's where I'm torn. I'm like, do I invest my money and, like, be able to, like, live on it? Or,
right. And I've
never promised tomorrow, so why would I keep everything?
For sure. And I'm not saying, like, I'm not saying, like, spend all your money and, like, don't have a savings account. That's not at all what I'm saying. But I do think that, like, a lot of people, like Susie Orman, is that her name? How you say her name? The money
lady.
I
love her.
I can't stand her.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
No, we're probably thinking of the same person.
Okay.
The girl with the short blonde hair who always wears suits.
No, this girl has long hair, brown hair, and she just developed an app.
Oh, no.
For, like, if your check is $7.50, then it says round up to $8 and take that 50 cents, and they'll automatically invest it for you.
Oh, so, well, like, that's neat. That's different.
That's what I was
That's
thinking.
not what this story is. Susie Orman is, like, all about, like, money-saving tips, and she's so anti, like, buying coffee, and she's so anti, like, and it's, like, and I get it, I totally get it, but, like, I don't know, just, like, freaking live your life, like.
Life is meant to be lived.
Life
and
is
it's
meant
to like give.
Yeah. Don't just, like, hide all your money away and then, like, one day you wake up and you have, like, $500,000. It's like, great, congrats. What are you gonna do with that? Are you ever gonna spend it? No, you're probably not. You're probably gonna die with that money.
Yeah.
And give it to your kids, and, like, that's cool and all, but your kids should also, like, be saving money. I don't know. I'm just very anti, like, hoarding all your money away. And I think that our parents' generation were very pro that, and that's what they were taught, is to, when you make money, keep it. Keep it away forever, lock it away, hide it, don't give it to anyone. And I feel like that's just a weird...
I know. You gotta find a way to be, like, money smart.
Yes.
And I think this is something that you learn in your 20s and your 30s, and, like, that's why it's so crucial to figure it out, because you also don't want to be homeless.
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah.
But it's like you want to be money smart, but you also want to have experiences.
Yeah, not be so frugal that you're, like, wasting your life just working. I think that's what it is.
And it doesn't have to be, like, a trip every month or every quarter. It could be one trip a year. Save it for a whole year and go on one amazing vacation a year.
And you're not allowed to go to Florida. That's a rule. Don't go to Florida. Florida is wonderful and amazing, but there are other places in the world, and there's other places with beaches.
It's true.
Stop going to effing Florida, people. I'm just so tired of, like... I just know so many people who, like... literally, like, go to Florida, like, once a year. I'm like, why don't you just move there and then you can travel somewhere else? Like, I don't know. I just don't.
You just don't get it. It's not your thing.
I don't know. Just, like, experience. There's more places in the world than fucking Florida. I get really annoyed when people spend thousands and thousands of dollars on Disney World every year.
Oh.
It really hurts my heart. Thousands. For one trip to Disney World, you could have the most bomb trip to Europe you've ever experienced in your life.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's how much money you're spending. Disney World.
I know.
Or you could give that money to me and I could go to Europe.
And I'll write a blog about it.
And I'll
talk about it on the pod.
Yep, absolutely.
Share pictures. Make an album.
It drives me nuts. But yeah. But I love that you are realizing that now, because I feel like a lot of people don't realize that until that's why I'm telling you, that's why old people travel so much, because they realized, oh my god, I literally just wasted my whole life working and not doing anything, and now I have to travel. Like, I think you have to do that now, because no one knows if we're going to make it to our 60s or our 50s or our 40s, you know? You have to experience those things, and if you have to be poor and maybe, like, not go out as much for a month or two to do so, do it. Save your money in certain areas.
I love it.
I love it.
That's so great. Because, like, a lot of the things, like, when I think about going into 30s, I start getting, like, anxiety, like, oh my gosh, what if I don't do this right? What if I'm not ready for this? Like, am I doing this properly? Is this, you know? There's, like, so much stress and, like, making sure you're set up or you're doing the right thing or you're making the right decision.
For sure.
It's terrifying.
It is terrifying.
And then you got to think, okay, I'm going in my 30s. Like, I want to keep, like, my fresh skin, all this, but all that stuff costs money, so how am I going to eat? It's just, like, I know that's so stupid and such a vain thought.
It's a societal pressure on women, especially, because now it's, like, when you're in your 20s, you're, like, young and hot and beautiful, and then when you get to your 30s, it's, like, oh, you start to get wrinkles, your skin's saggy, like, oh, you need to tighten up, like, it's a real thing.
And then it's, like, the dress code. Like, what's...
I know. And
like, what can you wear? Like, I can't... Because, you know, it was, like, Hollister and Abercrombie, and then it's, like, Express and
for sure.
all of that.
And you hear people all the time who are like, she's too old to wear that.
Right.
And it drives me insane.
Heart.
I'm like, first off, I work really hard for my body. I love my body, and I'm going to wear slutty clothes until I don't want to anymore. So, get over it. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry. I wore this today. It's like a crop top, but I wore high-waisted jeans with it, and you could see, like...
You're not dressed slutty.
At all. And you could see, like, the most sliver of my abdomen. I mean, like, when I say sliver, I mean, like, the size of a shoelace. Like, that's how much of my abdomen you could see.
When you lifted your arms.
When I lifted my arms. And a lady came up to me today, and she was like, you look professional. And I was just like, go jump off a cliff.
Wait,
like,
what?
It really made me mad.
I did not know that.
I just had, like, a really weird day today, I think, where it was just, I realized, like, oh my gosh, like, I felt like I was in the wrong circle. And I don't know. I'm starting my own business. I don't have a dress code. Like, I'm very anti, like, professional wear right now.
So you look hateful.
Yeah, I'm like...
You look old.
I just got mad. Where she was just like, you look professional.
You know what? Just think of 3 compliments that you've received today. Can you think of 3?
When you walked in, you told me I looked nice.
Yeah.
And I looked sun-kissed.
Yeah.
And my hair looked good.
I did unload some compliments. Meant every single one.
Thank you.
I think that's another thing, is when you look at life, one person can say one horrible thing, but you could have 10 people say the nicest things. What do you remember?
You always remember the negative, and I don't know why we do that. We
I know.
need to stop doing that.
I'm just thinking, like, okay, that happens, and then you start feeling worse, and you start noticing more bad things started happening.
Yes.
That happened, and then another thing, and then another thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, my biggest goal going into 30 is just, when I recognize that, try to find something happy and attract the good things to me.
Mm-hmm. Completely.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think, because it's crazy, like, you think about it,
Mm-hmm.
that happened, and then more bad things or unfortunate or not exactly great things started happening.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you're attracting those to yourself by any means, but...
For sure. Well, I don't know. I think it's half attraction, half, like, you just notice it more.
Yes.
And a lot of times, like, I think that something negative in your brain is like, it's like a sprained ankle, where when you have a sprained ankle, you don't keep walking on it. You don't walk it off. You let go of it until it gets better. You don't think about it. You don't put as much pressure on it. And then it goes away because you're not doing anything to it. And I think a lot of times negativity in our mind is just like a sprained ankle. You don't just keep on, talking about it and talking about it and talking about it and thinking that it'll go away. You have to, like, relieve some pressure.
Yeah.
Get it, just throw it away for a little bit.
Asleep.
Yeah.
Just let your foot be, bro.
Yeah. Let your foot be. Yeah. You can't walk on it because then you'll fall.
Yeah. Stupid.
Yeah.
But going into your 30s is terrifying.
I know. I just was there.
But you did it. And you did it so gracefully.
Thank you.
And now, like, if you look back on your life, look at all you've accomplished.
Completely. I did a lot in my 20s.
You traveled.
I graduated from college. I traveled. I took a leap of faith. I moved my entire life across the country. I pursued a different career path. I took another leap of faith, pursued another career path. I don't know. I feel like I did a lot. I did a lot of stuff.
Well, and that really relates back to, shorter time periods. When you feel like you're falling short, look at all the things that you did do versus what you're falling short of. And then that kind of is a little bit of a relief to, okay, I haven't got there, but I've done all of these things. Like, that's pretty incredible.
Count your accomplishments.
Count your accomplishments.
A to-done list.
A to-did. Yeah, I like it. We should make to-done lists.
That's what my friend Mary taught me that.
I love that.
Is at the end of the day, if you feel like, because you just have those days where you feel like you have so much left to get done. You sit down and you make a to-done list of everything you did that day, and you're like, oh snap, like I actually did a lot of stuff. I just am being hard on myself.
Yeah, I will secretly go back to my to-do list and add things that I did, just so I can be like, scratched that off the to-do list.
Took a shower. Check. Look at me. I accomplished so much.
Yes. But I mean, I have done that.
Yeah.
Let's put Jim back in car. Check.
Did it. Thought about the gym. Check.
Check. Took a mental break, aka nap. Check. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We do need to start doing that more.
Yeah. Taking care of the self. Yeah. So do you feel any different now that you're 30?
To be honest, I don't.
See?
I think that's the thing is I think that I thought once I turned 30 I would just wake up and just like feel like this old person, and I really don't. I literally feel like the exact same person. I feel just as young, I feel just as cool, I feel just as smart, just as, I don't know. But people tell me all the time that they think that I'm like 23 or like 24. Like, so.
You don't look 30.
I think that's the thing is like when you don't, like, I think age gets to a lot of people more of like, oh my gosh, I'm 30, I have to be this certain way. And I'm trying to defy that and just know, like, I want to act just how I like acting, and I want to act and be the way I like feeling. Mm-hmm. And so if that comes off as younger, awesome. If it doesn't, awesome. So that's kind of this headspace that I'm in.
I love it.
So that's all.
I think that's great.
Yeah. Well, do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
I think for all you ladies out there who are panicking about that next age step in your life, it is just a part of life, and make it great. There's no reason to fear it. Embrace it and see how you can better it. Set your goal for what you want that to be. Mm-hmm. This is my next chapter. You get to write your next chapter, right? Mm-hmm. I am writing my next chapter. I'm not letting it be fate. I'm attracting my next chapter. I'm writing
Absolutely.
it. And I am doing everything that I want to do in it because I control it, which is the beauty of it all.
I love that.
So here's to your next chapter. Here's to making it even better than your last. And cheers to that.
Yes. Cheers. We'll cheers our water.
Oh, I love it.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode today.
Yes.
Tune in next week. Exciting stuff is coming.
Oh.
We're very, very stoked.
Can't even handle it.
You don't even know. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, CJ and Sel Podcast. You can join our Facebook group.
If you'd like to leave us a review,
please.
If you feel that is something that you have time for, that would be great. We'd love it.
We would really love that. And we hope you have the most wonderful day ever. You can make it wonderful, though.
Make it wonderful. Sending all the good vibes your way. Good things are coming to you.
Good things are coming.
Love it.
Yay. Bye. We'll see you next week.